What it do, babies? So, I had a buddy of mine talk to me yesterday. He was talking about how he's 25. He has yet to finish his computer science degree because he's just gotten different job opportunities, and he's always thought, oh, I can come back whenever I want, and computer science is always going to be there. And sure, that's true. But also then, if you take these other opportunities and end up coming back way later to computer science, you can't beat yourself up for that. You made that decision, and you made it with all the information that you had best you could. And so there's really no problem with that as long as you know what you're doing. But we were talking about how anytime you encounter something, so for instance, for me, I applied to 50 different internships. And 50 plus, actually, tons and tons of different internships. And I just yesterday got my first offer. And so really every single internship that I've been rejected from, I haven't thought about it as a failure. I've thought about it more as a roadblock where I have to pivot left or pivot right. And really in the startup world, in the startup culture over out west, you'll see everybody thinks about failure. They frame it differently. And they frame failures not as failures, but more as stepping stones to success. And so really it all starts in your mind. When you know that you're going to succeed beyond the shadow of a doubt, then anything that is not success, is just a stepping stone to that next success. And so really it's all about framing it. And that's another thing, I've always preached that it's super, super important to monitor and gauge the language that you use, and then also how you think about things like success and failure. And so when my buddy and I were talking, and he was like, oh, I failed. I had a setback where I had to, rather than pivot left or right, I had to turn around. He was talking about when he got a job instead of finishing his degree, and then he got laid off from the job. And I said, really, you're thinking about that in the wrong way, because you're not coming back from anywhere, because you've gotten that knowledge, you've accumulated that knowledge from on the job. You've got far more knowledge than any graduate that's coming out immediately out of a computer science program that doesn't have great internship experience. And so I said, that's not a go and turn around type of thing. That's far more of a pivot left or right. You just pivoted now into finishing your degree. And so I think that's just something to remember. Think about anything that you encounter that you might label as a failure. It's not a failure. It's a roadblock to success that you just have to pivot left or right around.